Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum. This is a very brief um, summary of what we have covered today. So we have spoken about the kiss, whether it breaks your wudu, and we've said generally kissing anywhere but the mouth or the lip takes the ruling of touching. So there's four conditions. There's only one scenario where it doesn't break your wudu if you have not meant to have like a pleasure or sexual arousal, and you did not mean it, you did not intend it, and it didn't happen, then it doesn't break your wudu, and that is called the kiss of ar-rahmah, the kiss of mercy. Like even if you're kissing your wife or your spouse farewell, or she's coming back from a trip, and you're just kissing that, that's the kiss of mercy, which is not the kiss of pleasure. As for kissing on the lip, in summary, in the Malikiya, even though there's differences of opinion in different schools, kissing on the lips does break your wudu. The other question is هل ينقض الوضوء بالنظر والفكر مع الإنعاض? Does watching, looking at something, a picture or an image which is pleasurable, with the erection, if someone gets an erection, does that break your wudu? The answer is it does not break your wudu. If an erection happens by looking and admiring a certain thing, then it still does not break your wudu. What is the ruling of touching one's private part? And this only applies for the male. It doesn't apply for the woman, because a woman can have her wudu and touch her private parts, and it does not break her wudu. It breaks the wudu of a male if they touch their private part. I'm talking here about the penis, not the testicles. So if a man touches his penis with the inside of his palm, or the side of his hand, or the side of his fingers, in between the fingers, then it does break wudu, whether it was a very thin layer, even with a thin layer. So if it's not a thin layer, it's a thick layer, or a thin layer but not too thin, it does not break your wudu. And touching yourself anywhere on your body except that place, then it does not break your wudu. What is the ruling of ridda wa shak? The first question is, what is the ruling of someone denouncing his faith and then coming back? So kufr, leaving Islam and coming back. May Allah protect us. Waliyadu billah. There is two opinions, and both of them are reliable and depend. They are both equally reliable. And the one is to make wudu, and the other one is to do ghusl. But the one that we depend mostly upon, it is to do al-wudu, just to do al-wudu. May Allah protect us from kufr wa ridda. The other question is ma huwa hukmu al-shak, the ruling of having doubt. And here is doubting whether you have wudu, whether you did wudu and then you broke it, or whether you did not break it, or whether you made wudu after you broke it or not. So that in both situations, in all the conditions, in all the scenarios, you have to repeat your wudu. So in the Malikiya, the doubt requires that you repeat your wudu. The other question here is, what if you go into the salah? What if you go into the as-salah, and then you remember into the salah, you start having these doubts. So you go into the salah with the certainty that you have wudu, but once you start praying, you start doubting, have I broken my wudu? In that situation, you continue praying wujuban. You have to continue praying because you have wudu and you've started your salah in all the right conditions. You've finished your salah. You have finished your salah, and all of a sudden, you remember that you have done your wudu and you did not break it after that. You don't have to repeat your wudu or salah. But if you finish your salah and you remember that you broke your wudu, or if you continue doubting after finishing your salah, you continue doubting whether you have broken your wudu, then you have to repeat your wudu and you have to repeat your salah. You go into the salah, and all of a sudden you recall you um, you did not have your wudu, but you don't remember whether you have made your wudu or not. You had no wudu, you had no tahara. Now you remember, you're in the salah. I did break my wudu, but I forgot whether I have did my wudu after it or not. You have to get out of the salah, and there's no two opinions. The third scenario is you've gone into the salah, and you know that you have done wudu, and you also know that you have broken it, but you don't know which came first. Whether breaking it came first or doing the wudu, or whether you have made the wudu or you're breaking it. That's another scenario where you have to break your salah and repeat your wudu and your salah. So these are the three conditions, and that's I think it's very clear. The next topic which we will cover next week, inshallah, is what are the things that requires al-wudu, and it's very simple. There are three things that we do that requires to have wudu. One of them is salah, because it's the shartu sihha. Shartu sihha, it's a condition for the validity of as-salah. To have wudu is a condition of validity for as-salah. The second thing that we need to have wudu, it's also shartu sihha, is at-tawaf bil-Kaaba, is to do at-tawaf, is to have wudu while doing at-tawaf. وَمَسُّ الْمُصْحَفِ, and touching the mushaf, and touching the book of the Quran. And وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ وَصَلَّى اللَّهُ وَسَلَّمَ عَلَى سَيِّدِنَا مُحَمَّدٍ وعلى آله وصحبه.